The Homeric epics aren't just highfalutin poetry. They're full of rock'em sock'em, cartoon-like violence. Bang! Kapow! A pretty good modern analogy would be something like pro wrestling or a graphic horror flick with blood spattered everywhere. We've got great dialogue like this. Ai psatoi haima kelai noineroe se periduri. That means, immediately your dark blood will flow from my spear. So naturally, in order to understand this stuff, you do have to know a whole bunch of the vocabulary for human body parts. And of course, anytime you're studying a foreign language, there are all those weird little constructions you need to learn, like how do I explain that something hurts or that you're washing a certain body part. It turns out that in this dialect, we really need to use the dative case a lot. So in addition to the vocabulary, part of the point of this recording is to get a bunch of practice with the dative. And we also get a lot of what I find really fascinating cultural and psychological insight reaching across the centuries, where we find out what these people thought about things like the mind-body problem, or we learn that they thought it was possible for a human to physically injure a god. The beginning of this recording will be just a rapid drill on the vocabulary. I'm going to include every word that occurs in Homer at least 3 times. As a prompt, you'll hear the dictionary form of the word, then a pause. During that pause, try to respond by repeating the dictionary form, then giving the genitive, and then giving the English gloss. Then you'll hear the answer, and then we'll move on. First, we'll have about 17 words involving the head. Kephale, kephale, kephales, head. Thrix, thrix, trichos, hair. Come, come, comes, hair. Krotophos, krotophos, krotophoio, the temple on the side of the head. Prosopon, prosopon, prosopou, face. Metopon, metopon, metopou, the forehead. Oma, oma, omatos, eye. Osse, osse, dual for the eyes. Ophrus, ophrus, ophruos, eyebrow. Themethla, themethla, themethlon, plural, the eye sockets, or the lower part of the throat. Ous, ous, uatos, ear. Stoma, stoma, stomatos, mouth. Chelos, 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 lip. Glossa, glossa, glosses, tongue. Odus, odus, Odontos, tooth. Genus, genus, genuos, jaw. Geneon, geneon, geneu, chin. Now about 20 words for external body parts below the head. Algeen, algeen, algenos, neck. Lophos, lophos, lophu, the nape of the neck, also a heel. Daire, daire, daires, neck, throat, the mane of an animal. Stomachos, stomachos, stomachoio, the throat. Ancon, ancon, anconos, elbow. Agostos, agostos, agostou, palm, arm, also meaning filth. Palame, palame, palames, palm. Carpos, carpos, carpou, wrist. Ger, ger, geros, hand. Onyx, onyx, onychos, claw, nail, or a hoof or talon of an animal. Pteron, pteron, pterou, feather, wing. Kolpos, kolpos, kolpou, bosom, bosom of a peplos, any cleft or gulf. Lapare, lapare, lapares, flank, usually in the plural. Noton, noton, notu, the back. Gaster, gaster, gasteros, belly. Omphalos, omphalos, omphalou, the belly button. Glutos, glutos, glutus, the buttock, in plural, the butt. Cotule, cotule, catules, the hip socket. Gono, gono, gunos, knee. Sphuron, sphuron, sphrou, ankle, also a term for a foothill. Pus, pus, podos, foot. Now, 6 words that apply to the entire body or that could apply to any part of the body. Chros, 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 flesh, body, the person, the visible surface of the flesh, referred to when describing a person's skin color using words like leucon and melainato. Derma, derma, dermatos, skin, hide. Ule, ule, ules, scar. Nekos, nekos, nekuos, a dead body. Soma, soma, somatos, a much less common term for a dead body. Next, 4 words for internal organs. Entera, entera, enteru, entrails. Hepar, hepar, hepatos, the liver. Neuron, neuron, neuru, tendon. Osteon, osteon, osteo, bone. The Greeks seemed to think of certain body parts as the seat of certain emotions or faculties, and then the word for that body part is used to refer both to the physical body part and the more abstract human property as well. So now we have 6 words that are like that. Aetor, aetor, aetoros, heart. Splanchna, splanchna, splanchnon, guts, the seat of strong emotions, used the same way we use it in English in phrases like a gut punch or a bad feeling in my gut. Stethos, stethos, stetheos, breast, chest, the seat of masculine feelings such as bravery. Sternon, sternon, sternoio, breast, chest, seat of feelings, used much less commonly for men than stethos. Phren, phren, phrenos, the midriff, the mind. Prapides, prapides, prapidon, the diaphragm, midriff, seat of wisdom and cunning, used only in the plural. Omos, omos, omu, the shoulder, thought of as the seat of strength. And now a couple more words used only in the plural. Meder, meder, medeon, genitals, testicles. Pleura, pleura, pleuras, ribs. Now we have 2 words that are used both in the singular and in the plural, but the Greeks think of these as 2 halves of a whole, so that the plural refers to the entire thing. Chris, chris, chrinos, a nostril, or in the plural, the nose. Madzos, madzos, madzoeo, the male or female nipple, the female breast, the The plural can mean the entire male chest. Certain words for body parts never really occur at all in Homer, or in some cases occur very seldom, except as part of other compound words. We have 3 of these words next. Dactylos. Dactylos, a finger or toe. There's no separate word for thumb. This word occurs in Homer only in the set phrase Rhododactylos heos, rosy-fingered dawn. Pareion. Pareion. Pareiu. Cheek. This word really mainly occurs in Homer as part of the epithet kalipareos, fair-cheeked, for women and goddesses. Olene. Olene. Olenes. The elbow, the lower arm. This occurs only in the epithet leokolenos, white-armed. The Greeks divided the body up into parts mentally in different ways than we do, and this applies especially to the limbs. There is in general no word for arm and no word for leg. Pechos. 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 The forearm from the wrist to the elbow. Unlike olene, this actually occurs as an independent word. Brachion. Brachion. Brachionos. The upper arm or shoulder. Kneme. Kneme. Knemes. The calf, the lower leg. This is the source of the frequent epithet for the Achaeans, euknemides, or well-grieved. Meros. Meros. Meru. Thigh. Melos. Melos. Meleos. Limb. And finally, 3 words for bodily fluids and other substances. Haima. Haima. Haimatos. Blood. Ichor. Ichor. The blood of a god, or various other types of goop or liquids. Dacro. Dacro. Dacruos. Tear. Also, dacruon. Dacru. Moelos. Moelos. Moelu. Marrow. And that's it for the vocabulary. In part 2 of this recording, we'll start doing some grammar practice, mostly with the dative.